My name is Emily Harper, and I'm 23 now. I live in a small town called Willow Creek, about 45 minutes outside of Columbus, Ohio. It's the kind of place where everyone knows which family owns the blue pickup with the dented fender, and which gas station still lets you pump before you pay. People wave even when they don't really know you. It used to feel safe. I don't tell this story often. Most of the time, I just let people assume I'm quiet, or shy, or going through a phase. But last week my little cousin asked me, very seriously, the way only 9-year-olds can, why I never sleep over at anyone's house anymore. Her eyes were so wide and trusting that I almost told her the Disney version. Instead I changed the subject to ice cream. But tonight I'm going to say it all. Not because I want pity, and definitely not because I think it will fix anything. I just want the weight of it out of my chest for once. If I keep carrying it silently, I'm afraid one day I'll wake up and realize I've become someone who never speaks at all. It started in the summer I turned 17. We had just moved into the house on Maple Street. Not because we were rich, my mom had finally gotten a steady job as a radiology tech at the county hospital, and the mortgage was barely cheaper than our old apartment rent, but because Mom said we deserved a real home with a yard and a porch swing. The house was old, built in the late 1940s, white clapboard with green shutters that were peeling at the edges. The previous owners had left behind a rusty swing set in the backyard that no one ever used. I had the bedroom at the end of the hallway upstairs. It had slanted ceilings and a small window that looked straight into the branches of a huge silver maple. At night the leaves would tap against the glass like fingers whenever the wind picked up. I liked it. It felt like the tree was trying to talk to me. The first strange thing happened maybe 3 weeks after we moved in. I woke up at 3:17 a.m., with the absolute certainty that someone had just said my name. Not whispered, said it clearly, conversationally, the way you say, "Emily, can you pass the salt?" I sat straight up. My heart was already racing before my brain caught up. The room was empty. Moonlight came through the branches in silver stripes across my comforter. The house made all the normal old house sounds, floorboards settling, the furnace clicking on in the basement. Nothing else. I told myself it was a dream fragment. Went back to sleep. It happened again 4 nights later. Same time, almost exactly. Emily. This time I didn't sit up right away. I stayed perfectly still, eyes open, listening. After maybe 30 seconds I heard it again, soft, calm, patient. Emily. It wasn't coming from inside the room. It was coming from the hallway, just beyond my door. I have never moved so slowly in my life. I slid out of bed, bare feet on cold hardwood. I turned the knob millimeter by millimeter so the latch wouldn't click. Opened the door 1 inch. The hallway was dark except for the faint blue glow from the night light plugged in near the bathroom. No one was there. But the air felt thick. Like someone had just walked through it. The next morning I asked Mom if she had come upstairs in the night. Nope. Slept like a rock. Why? I shrugged. Thought I heard something. She gave me the worried mom look but didn't push. 2 weeks passed without anything. I started to relax. Then one Thursday night, August 14th, I still remember the date because it was the night before the county fair opened, the voice came back. But this time it wasn't just my name. I was half asleep when I heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate, coming up the stairs. Each step made the wood groan exactly the way it did when my mom or I climbed them. I lay there frozen, counting. Step. Groan. Step. Groan. It reached the top landing. Then it walked straight toward my door and stopped. I could hear breathing. Just human, calm breathing on the other side of the thin wood. Then the voice, very close to the door crack. Emily, you don't have to be afraid. My mouth went dry. I wanted to scream for Mom, but my throat felt sealed shut. I just want to talk, it said. A woman's voice. Soft. Almost kind. You're a good girl. I know you are. I pulled the blanket over my head like I was 6 years old. I stayed like that until the hallway light came on and Mom knocked gently. You okay? I heard you whimpering. I threw the blanket off and tried to look normal. Bad dream, I croaked. She sat on the edge of my bed for a while, rubbing my back. I didn't tell her. I couldn't. How do you explain that something that sounds like a person, but isn't a person, is standing outside your door asking to talk? After that night, things changed quickly. The voice stopped coming at 3 a.m. Instead it started appearing during the day, always when I was alone in the house. I'd be in the kitchen making toast and hear, "Emily, why don't you sit down? You look tired." I'd spin around. Empty room. I'd be brushing my teeth and hear, from the hallway, "You're so pretty when you smile. You should smile more." I started keeping my bedroom door locked even when I was inside. I started wearing earbuds all the time, even when I wasn't listening to anything. White noise. Rain sounds. Anything to fill the silence. Mom noticed I was jumpy. She asked if it was boy trouble, school stress, social media. I said yes to all of them because it was easier than the truth. Then came the night I can't forget. September 9th, Mom was working the night shift. I was home alone. Around 11:30 I heard the front door open. Not violently, no crash, no slam, just the soft click of the latch, then the familiar creak of the hinges. I knew that sound. I'd heard it every day for months. I sat up in bed. My phone said 11:32 p.m. Footsteps. Slow. Coming up the stairs. I whispered, "Mom." No answer. The footsteps reached the top. Then the voice, right outside my door again. "Emily, open the door. I brought you something." My whole body went cold. "I made cookies," she said. "The ones with the chocolate chips you like. Remember?" I had never told anyone in my family that I liked those specific cookies. I used to beg the lunch lady for extras in middle school. No one knew I still craved them. I didn't move. After maybe a minute the voice sighed. A real, tired, disappointed sigh. "You're making this harder than it needs to be." Then the doorknob turned. Slowly. I had locked it. I always locked it now. The knob turned all the way, stopped, then turned back. Then silence. I waited 10 minutes, 20, 30. Nothing. Finally I crept to the door, ear against the wood. No breathing. No footsteps. I opened it. The hallway was empty. But on the floor mat outside my door sat a small paper plate covered in plastic wrap. 3 chocolate chip cookies. Still warm. I didn't touch them. I took a picture with my phone, hands shaking so badly the photo is blurry. Then I carried the plate downstairs, using a towel so I wouldn't touch it, and dropped it straight into the trash can outside. I didn't look at the cookies again. The next morning I told Mom I wanted to stay at my friend Jenna's house for a few nights. She asked why. I lied. Said Jenna and I were doing a project. She let me go. I stayed at Jenna's for 5 days. Nothing happened. No voices. No cookies. I almost convinced myself it was over. Then I came home. Mom was at work again. I walked in, dropped my backpack, went upstairs. My bedroom door was open. I always closed it when I left. Inside, on my bed, lay the same paper plate. This time only one cookie. A bite had been taken out of it. Next to it was a folded piece of notebook paper. I didn't want to read it. I read it anyway. In careful, looping handwriting. I waited for you. You didn't come back. That wasn't very nice. But I forgive you. We have so much time. Love. Your friend. I ran out of the house. Literally ran. I didn't even close the door behind me. I sprinted 3 blocks to the library, because it was the only place I could think of that felt safe and public. I sat in the back corner near the biographies and cried until a librarian asked if I needed help. I told her I was fine. I wasn't. That night I finally told Mom everything. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she didn't say, "You're imagining things," or "It's just stress." She just looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "Pack a bag. We are going to Aunt Rachel's tonight." We left within 40 minutes. Didn't even lock the house properly. We stayed with Aunt Rachel in Dayton for 2 weeks. Mom called a real estate agent the next day. She put the Maple Street house on the market as is, furniture and all. She didn't care about getting top dollar. She just wanted out. We never went back inside to get the rest of our things. Mom hired movers. They said the house smelled strange, like old flowers and something metallic, but they didn't find anything unusual. The house sold in 11 days. We moved into an apartment in a new complex on the other side of Columbus. No yard, no porch swing, no silver maple tapping the window. I didn't care. I slept better than I had in months. But sometimes, maybe once every 3 or 4 months, I still dream about it. In the dream I'm back in that upstairs bedroom. The door is closed. The voice is outside again, patient, familiar. "Emily, open the door. I brought you something." And in the dream I always reach for the knob. I always turn it. And every time, just before the door opens, I wake up gasping. I still don't know who, or what, she was. Maybe she lived in that house before us. Maybe she died there and never left. Maybe she was never alive at all. All I know is she knew my name. She knew what cookies I liked. And she waited. She's still waiting, I think. Somewhere,